Welcome back to the 24 Hours of Artists. This is show number 3, I believe, in chronological order. And she's actually been on the show before. One of the few people outside of the people we know that's been on the show, and the first person outside of her people to actually make a second appearance on the show. She's wanted to discuss some things that she's never really discussed before, so I was like, hell yeah, here on my show, let's fucking do it. So, please welcome back to Talk. We know her, we love her. Her name is Little Marie.
Hi.
Oh, you're back. Yes.
I am.
Yeah. What better way to come back to the show than on the 24 Hours of Artists? What better way? You know?
Right, that's exciting.
Yeah, when I called Marie to do the show again, she was like, okay, but I want to talk about stuff that I've never really talked about before. I was like, okay, what's that? She was like, my relationships. And I was like, right fucking on. I'm in for that. I am in for that. Because I've read Marie's blogs for, I don't know, like 4 years now. And there's always mentions of a guy, but there's never like, okay, I went out with so-and-so last night and we did this. And it's never that kind of blog. You know? So this should be really interesting here. So let me start off by asking, like, when you don't mention it in blogs and everything like that, is it because you just don't want certain people knowing? Is it just something you want to keep to yourself, or are your relationships that bad, or are you just like, nobody should know about this?
Well, it's more like if there's a certain someone that I went out with, or something like that. I kind of like relate it to kind of how like relationships in Hollywood, how the successful ones are ones that aren't like all in the press and aren't, you know, the media's not all over them. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like that. I just prefer to keep that part of my life separate.
So it's not that the relationships are bad, it's just that you just want to keep it to yourself.
Right.
So why is it now that you would like to talk about it?
Well, I don't know. I just thought it's kind of interesting, and there's certain things that have happened that have made me, you know, wow, I wish I could talk about it, and, you know, I just don't. So I just thought, you know, maybe this will be different.
All right. So, see, I don't even know where to start because it's not like I've known you my whole life, so I can be like, all right, your first boyfriend.
Well, the last one that I did talk about was my relationship with Eddie, which, you know, kind of was the only relationship that I actually talked about on MySpace, just because, you know, we lived together, and that's kind of, you know, I started going out and all that stuff.
So how did your relationship with Eddie start?
That one started, I was just kind of going out and doing my thing, and he was, you know, in the scene as well, and we just started hanging out as friends, and then it just kind of led to more just, hey, at the end of the night, hooking up and stuff. Okay. And then we just started, you know, realizing, hey, we really have chemistry, and I moved in like a month later.
Hooking up as in like, hey, let's go get a movie hookup, or hooking up as in hooking up?
Hooking up as in hooking up.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what the show needs.
Yeah.
Marie, you haven't heard other shows we do. There's been shows where we've talked a good hour on just fucking.
Right.
So don't be too embarrassed. Don't be like, hee. Don't be like a little schoolgirl. It's okay. We're all adults. Well, all of us except for one. But,
yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, okay. So was there so you two get together, you start living together. So obviously you're not living with him now. So what went wrong? Like what was I can't be with this guy anymore. He couldn't be with you. Like what was it?
It was more like we were great together. We probably, like, I guess we've been apart for like 2.5 years maybe. Mm-hmm. And everything was great. That was at the time in my life where I wanted something more. Like I wanted the whole, you know, get married, have kids, live happily ever after thing. And I really want that.
That's funny because there's no such thing, but go ahead.
Right. Well, then I was into the whole story ending thing.
Yeah.
You know, like the stuff that you see in movies that obviously is not true.
Yeah. So what was it that took you two apart?
What was what?
What brought you two apart from each other?
I wanted to get married and he didn't.
All right, just that simple, huh? So
Yeah.
was it like a gradual thing, or would like one day where you're like, you know, let's get married, and he's like, fuck you, I'm not getting married. I mean, like.
It wasn't gradual at all. It was something that I thought he had wanted to, and then one day we were talking about it, and he had said, you know, maybe I'm not going to be ready for like the next 10 years, and I was like, whoa.
10 years? Damn.
Yeah. Like, okay, 10 years, let's see, you'll be what, like 43, 44, and then you'll just be now getting ready? So I was like, no, I'll be like 33, 34, and that's too old for me, so we just kind of cut it off right there.
Now that's something I didn't know about. He was 10 years older than you?
Yeah, he was. Wow. I like the older men.
Wow, he was a cradle robber. Wow. See, I never knew this, man. You need to start posting more about this shit. Like, honestly, I was just like, huh? I never knew about this.
Yeah.
I thought he was just like a, you know, 20-something clubber like yourself, and then, I don't know, he asked you, you know, he threw some cheesy line at you, and you're like, all right. You know, that was always my picture. That was always my picture of how you two met, but apparently that was way off.
Yeah, way off.
Apparently so. So was it like a mutual breakup, or like once he said I'm not gonna get married for 10 years, you're just like forget this? How did that go? Like, was it both? Like once he said 10 years, was it just like, well, I don't think we should be together, or did he say 10 years and he saw that you were upset, and then both of you were just, you know, went your separate ways? Like, what was it?
Once we kind of had that conversation, I remember it. We were coming back from like a barbecue at a friend's house. We're in the car, and we kind of had that conversation. And then after that, it was all, you know, kind of like the aftermath. Like, we obviously lived together for a while. I was working, and I was going to school at the same time, so it's been hard for me to, you know, get like a full-time job right away, and with my schedule and everything. So we kind of lived together while we were broken up for a good month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, that got kind of dirty. But, so after that, we're friends now. Like, we're almost best friends now, so
Oh, that's good.
everything worked out.
So before Eddie, was there any other guys before him, or were they just more like acquaintances, I should say?
I had dated, but it wasn't anything serious.
So, how many serious relationships have you actually been encountered as?
2.
2, wow. So Eddie's one, when was the first one?
Eddie was the first one, and then there was the second one right after Eddie.
See, okay, that's interesting. I never knew about that. When was this?
The second one was actually probably about during that time when we were broken up, and I said it got a little dirty. It was probably about 2 weeks after we broke up. I started dating this other guy.
Uh-huh.
And his name was Neil. And I posted some pictures on there because we lived together too.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a minute, that name sounds familiar, but I just can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, his was more of just something that was convenient at the time. I actually had my own place for about 6 months, but I never stayed there. And I always stayed at his place, and then I got rid of my apartment. He told me, you know, let's just live together. You're never at your place anyway. So I moved in there. And then that lasted for about 8 months. And then the breakup was pretty dirty, too.
How did that breakup happen?
We were in between places. sold his place that we lived in, and so we went to go stay with a friend of ours at his house. And all of a sudden, he calls me, or no, I think I got broken up with in an email. That's what it was.
That sucks.
So it's pretty bad. So he sends me an email, and he's like, you know, this just isn't working out. I've got too much stuff going on, you know, whatever. And so at the time, I was like really upset, and it came out of nowhere. Like, I thought everything was fine. And so I moved out, and I was staying with a friend for about a month until I got my own place and got my full-time job. And then after that, after I was living on my own, he tries to like come back in my life, and he's like, "That was the biggest mistake I ever made. You're, you know, the person that, you know, we're supposed to get married. We're supposed to, you know, this and that. Like, I'm sorry, I fucked up and everything." And I was like, "You know what? You're too late."
Damn. See, in a way, I gotta think that's kind of harsh. Okay? Don't get me wrong, Marie. I love you to death. But everybody in this world deserves a second chance.
Yeah, later I gave him one.
Oh, okay. I didn't let you finish the story. Okay.
Okay. So after, you know, he's like, I'll try, you know, I'll do, you know, let's just go out to dinner, let's just talk. You know, and I was like, okay, you know what, you say that you changed, because he was just very selfish. And so I was like, okay, you know, maybe, you know, the distance was what you needed, and, you know, you do realize that I'm the person for you, so I'll give it another shot. And I just wasn't in, I guess I'm just one of those people that when I'm done, I'm done. Like, if I've moved on, it's just not going to work out. And so we went to dinner a few times, and we talked on the phone, and I just wasn't really interested, and I didn't want to waste his time, and I didn't want to waste mine. So we didn't talk for a while, and then now we're like okay with being friends, but I'm sure he still wants to get married.
He wants to get married in general, or he wants to get married to you?
He wants to get married to me.
That ain't a bad deal. That ain't a bad dream to hope for, I gotta say. Sure. Yeah, but that's good to give him a second chance, because like I said, everybody in the world deserves a second chance. I'm sadly one of the people that never got a second chance, because I fucked up royally. But that's an entirely different show for another day. Just know that I fucked up royally, and I will never get a second chance. That's why I'm just like, everybody deserves a second chance, man. People can't be like that.
Yeah. Well, he got a second chance, though.
That's good, then. Yeah, at least you know. And I know people who've gotten third chances. I'm just like, fuck, that's a lucky dude right there, man. So okay, you've had two serious relationships, and they haven't really gone the romantic comedy way. Have you had? And you said you've dated around and everything. Have you ever dated anybody that was just absolutely just hideous? Like, is there one that stands out in your mind that just like, I cannot believe I was with this person for this amount of time?
Yeah, I mean, I've dated since then. I guess that was about, a year and a half ago that he and I broke up. So I've dated some guys since then, and I don't know if you noticed on my blogs or not, but I do a lot of online dating.
Yeah, I remember you talked about that. I was just like, wow, I used to be like that, man.
I actually love online dating. Like, I'm a big supporter of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on all, like, the dating websites. Like, I've been on Match, I've been on PerfectMatch.com, I've been on Harmony and Daydate, and I do have a favorite that I'm currently on. Which is Daydate.
Daydate?
Daydate, which is like, it's J, like, for Jewish. It's Jewish dating.
That's funny, man. I mean, I know there's a lot of websites and stuff, but like, damn, man, just Jewish dating. That's great. That's funny. Okay, go ahead, continue. Go ahead, I'll let you finish.
Okay, so, I went on some dates and had some pretty bad bad experiences. But then I had some good ones too, so I guess that's what makes me keep trying it.
What was the worst experience you had?
The worst experience?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Let's get juicy.
Probably, I wrote about it on my blog, about that one guy that I went on a date with, and we talked on the phone for maybe 3 months, and our schedules were just so busy we could never meet. He was lives in the area, he's a physician, and he, finally, he'd sent me some pictures, and I was like, it could go either way. He looks kind of cute in these pictures, but then in this other one, he doesn't look so good, so maybe he's not photogenic, so I decided to give that a chance.
Yeah, not everybody is Marie. Not everybody is photogenic like you. You got to remember that.
So we finally meet, and, we decide we're going to have dinner. So he comes to pick me up, and I hear, car honking outside my door. And I'm like, seriously? And so I'm like, what is all that? Is that, my car alarm? What is that? And then, so I look out the window, and there's, a car sitting there, by my front door. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's him. So I get out, and, I open the car door. He doesn't even come out to, introduce himself. And so I just, get in the car. And he was just very uncomfortable. He didn't want me to see him. It was dark, and the car was dark. And I found out later it was because he didn't want me to see him. So,
if he honked the car and you came out and you're like, I guess that's him, and he didn't even get out the car to meet you, if I was in your shoes, I'd be kind of worried. I'd be kind of like, are we really going to dinner, or am I going to end up in a ditch at the end of the night?
Yeah, and a lot of my friends, they're always like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're going to go meet some guy that you don't even know. And, I'm not really too worried about it. I've gone on online first dates that, nothing bad has happened. I know how to weed them out. I know what to look for. So I was actually okay with it. And I just thought, okay, maybe he's just really insecure and, he just wants to wait until we have dinner for me to see him.
So was that the worst experience, as in him honking the car, or are you getting there?
No, I'm getting to there.
Okay, go ahead, keep going.
So we pull up at the valet, and the first time I had actually seen him is when he got out, whenever the valet, was parking the car. And so we get out, and we're walking up to the door. And, he was a gentleman. He opened the door for me. We went, and we sat down, and, we were talking about what we want to order and stuff. And so the waiter comes along, and I talked about, I'll order this and that, whatever. And then the waiter comes over and is like, what can I get for you? And the guy totally ordered for me, but it wasn't anything that I had said that I wanted. And it was we were just splitting, a salad or something. And I'm like, seriously? I don't mind paying half. I want to eat. And so we just ended up splitting a salad, and all he did all night was talk about his patients and everything else, and I was just completely bored. And then at the end of the night, I was like, okay, well, it's been great. I'm ready to go home. And he was like, well, what about, let's go grab some drinks, whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I can't possibly stand to be, with this guy any longer. So I was like, no, you know what, I'm really tired, and, I need to get home and everything. And so he was like, okay, and I was like, maybe some other time. So he dropped me off, and that was it. We never talked again.
So was that the whole experience just the worst you've ever had, or was it the ordering or the car honking, or?
It was all of it, and I've never been, and I've gone on dates with some boring guys, but, I was just dreading it. I had to, excuse myself to go to the bathroom because I was just so insanely bored.
I'm trying to think, I didn't want to stop you, but I'm trying to think, okay, you get into the car, you can't see him because it's dark, but did y'all have a conversation or anything on the way to this restaurant?
Well,
or was it date?
No.
Or was it that anonymous guy on Dateline where you just see him in the dark and he's a weird voice and. Was it like that shit? I mean, because like.
Yeah, it was like that.
That is just fucking ridiculous. Okay, so then let's keep going. He gets some things right. He opens the door for you. Did he pull out the chair for you?
No.
No. Okay. I usually don't do that either. I'm usually an asshole sometimes too. But
yeah, that part I'm not really.
I was about to say,
it's not that big of a deal.
No guy's perfect. So hey, I was just curious. So then you're like, okay, I like this, and this. They come to take your order, and he's just like, all right, you know what, fuck you. You're gonna eat what I'm gonna pay for. So that just kills me right there.
Yeah, it was just like a salad. We were like at the sushi place, and I was like, well, I want, like, usually if I go get sushi by myself, I at least order, like, I mean, I don't finish it all, but variety of stuff, so.
That's just, because, like, hello?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I lost you there. That's just funny because, like, it'd been one thing if you, like, came close to what you said or one of the items that you said, but the fact that he was just like, you know what, no, she's gonna eat what I tell her to eat. That's what he basically said.
Right, which is like a salad. We were at, like, a sushi place, and we just had salad. We split the salad, and, like, at least I got my own miso soup, though.
You didn't even get a salad for yourself. You split a salad. That is just horrible. Even I wouldn't do. I admit, I can be a cheap bastard sometimes. I admit that. I will. Like, if we go to, like, a movie theater that, like, doesn't have the best food, and I'm just like, I really wouldn't advise eating here. Not just to save, it's to save money, but because the food is bad. But the fact, damn, he didn't even order 2 salads. He just ordered 1.
Yeah, it was 1 salad, and it wasn't even good.
And it sucks too. That's just gold, man. Okay. So that was your worst. So what was the best experience that you had while dating around?
Oh, God, my best? Well, it doesn't have a happy ending, but unfortunately it doesn't. But, yeah, talk about that one. Okay, so my best experience ever was with this guy. I met him, okay, we started talking online, like, maybe they have, like, that instant messaging feature or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we're chatting on there, and we just clicked so well. We were chatting for about 4 hours. And then he actually lives in Houston. So, we chatted for about 4 hours, and I was like, wow, I really like this guy. We have so much in common. And so he decides, you know, hey, I'm going to get a ticket, and I'm going to come there tonight. And so I was, okay. So literally, we hadn't even spoke on the phone yet. We like, sign off on date. I go, and I get in the shower, and I get all ready, because, you know, it's only like an hour flight, Alice?
I believe so.
So I'm like, okay, I have like an hour to get ready, then I have to go to the airport to pick him up. So I'm in the bath, and my phone rings, and he's like, you know, this is the first time we talked on the phone, and he was like, I just wanted you to have, you know, my number, and I'm headed up to the airport. So I was like, okay. So I finished getting ready, and I meet him at the airport, and, you know, so I picked him up. It was great. We clicked, everything, and he actually got a room at Zaza. And so I took him back to his room, and, you know, he got all checked in and everything. And then we did dinner reservations at 9 Steakhouse. And so we go there, and we have dinner, and it was, like, the best dinner ever. And then for dessert, I think we had, like, tacos or something, and it was just really nice. And then, so after dinner, I decided, you know, to spend the night at his suite at Zaza.
Wow.
And that's what a couple drinks will do to me. So I decided to go stay with him at Zaza, and everything was great. And, like, before we set this up, he had said, you know, do you want me want to stay for the whole weekend? What do you want to do? Whatever. And I was just afraid that I wasn't going to like him. So I actually said that I had something to do the next day so that he would have to leave in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And then, so he goes and, he's like, I got to go to the airport. And I was like, God, why did I tell him that I had something to do? I actually like this guy. So he left. Everything was great. We it was perfect. It was like the perfect first date, and it was great.
So if it was the perfect first date, how come I haven't heard of him since?
Well, that's where it kind of gets complicated. We actually, we dated probably for about, it wasn't like a real relationship because it just didn't, but we kind of dated for about 3 months, and then the long distance was so hard on me that, like I was getting upset if like he couldn't come for a weekend because he's like, I have to go to this birthday party, and and I was like, okay, well, that's like shitty of you not to say like, hey, come over. But then in the end, like a couple months later, I found out like he was upset that I was like, hey, well, why don't I just come there? And I was like, well, no, I'm not like inviting myself. So he thought there was just a bunch of miscommunication in the whole relationship. He thought that like I didn't want to see him. It was just I wanted to be putting myself, inviting myself to Houston. So he thought I just wasn't interested and things like that. So it kind of fell apart.
Oh, okay.
But the things were kind of like on and off, and we kind of talked after that, and like, I obviously wanted to like get back together with him and everything, and but yeah, it didn't really work out.
So speaking of Houston, let's change topics real fast. You're actually coming up here next weekend. And,
I am.
My question is, how many drinks does it take you to go to a hotel room?
It depends on the guy. I really did like him, and everything was perfect, and it was like the whole thing that, like in the movies.
Ah, so
it was a little different, but
that should have tipped you off. That should have tipped you off right there. You're like, wow, this is just like a movie I saw, and you knew it was gonna end bad.
I know, isn't it romantic? Like you don't even like the first, you don't even talk to each other, and then he just like flies down, and you have like this amazing dinner, and everything's great. Yeah, it was a little.
Yeah, because I've actually had that moment. I'm like, wow, this is just like a TV show, and like it ended bad. Because like I'm not usually the romantic. I'm a romantic, but like it takes a lot for me to pull something out of my bag of tricks, so to speak. And like when I do something and it does go over well, I'm like, okay, that worked well. But then, like case in point, I think I've mentioned it on the show before, and I would like to hear your opinion on it because I called you for your opinion for that book I was making, and then that didn't really go over well either. So here's what I did. This was my trick, not a trick, as in like you know what I'm saying. But I was talking to this girl for a long time. I think at that point it was October, September, about 5 months then, and her birthday was coming up, and she's really into Audrey Hepburn, and so I got her an Audrey Hepburn poster and all this other stuff, and she figured out all the shit that I got her for her birthday. I don't know how she did it, but she did. She was like, oh, you got me an Audrey Hepburn poster. I'm like, son of a bitch. So I was just like, I got to think of something that she won't see coming, like something that's really fucking outrageous and that'll really make me stand out. Because at this point, we weren't really dating. So as I said, she likes Audrey Hepburn. Have you ever seen the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, I knew you would. Well, the theme song for that movie is a song called Moon River. And there's a version of it by a man named Andy Williams, which I really like and everything. So I was like, okay, I can use that to my advantage somehow. I don't know how to dance. This is all relevant. I don't know how to dance. And I was like, it'd be really cool if I can dance with her to Moon River. But that was the problem. I was like, I don't know how to dance. So I actually had to call one of her friends, and I was like, hey, I need to ask you something weird. She was like, what? And I was like, how do you slow dance? She was like, you're kidding, right? I was like, no, I'm not. And I was just like, I really don't know. So she told me how and everything. So her birthday came up, and she was walking me to the car, and she was like, let me go grab my coat. I was like, all right, cool. That gave me enough time to set up my CD player and everything. And when she came out, I hit the CD player, and I was like, hey, let's dance. And she was like, what? Because she knew for a fact I couldn't dance either, so that really threw her off. And I was like, you know, let's dance. And then she noticed the song, and I was like, score. You know, and like, you know, it looked like everything was going well. We were going to eventually end up, you know, going the quote, you know, steady and everything, but everything just ended badly. But that was my big move. I was just like, you know, she likes Breakfast at Tiffany's and Moon River, Dance with Her, Under the Stars of all places, you know.
Right.
That was that was my greatest romantic adventure, I guess, so to speak.
Well, that's exciting.
Yes. You know. I don't think I've really had any worse ones though. I don't think I've actually had one where I was just like, oh fuck, why did I do that? Or, you know, I don't think I've had one where like you have, where a dude just ordered one salad and called it a day. You know, like that's just unbelievable to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, does he think I'm fat? Is that why we're splitting a salad?
Anybody that thinks you're fat needs to have their eyes checked, sweetheart. I swear. 'Cause you are built. Let's see, where can we go from here? Okay, I guess we can mention this, even though you've talked about it on your blogs, but I don't think my listeners have really checked out your blog. Let's talk about The Dirty.
All right.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I was at dinner one night when I got a text message from Marie saying, have I heard of thedirty.com? And I was like, no, why? And she I don't know if you're angry or shocked or surprised, but you weren't on the website, and that kind of threw you for a loop.
Mhm.
So what, were you angry that you weren't on there? Like, what the fuck? I'm fucking Little Marie. Why am I on here?
No, I was actually. At first, that was the day that I found out what it was. And I guess it's been around for so long, and I was just now hearing of it, and I was like, oh God, I'm gonna look on here and see if my pictures are on there. And then so once I realized, you know, that it was more of like a negative thing to be on there. After, you know, the more I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's not on there. It was more of like a Perez Hilton type website, and I thought it was like, you know, it would be a good thing there. But after I looked at it and I saw what it was all about, then I was like, oh, okay, well, you know, I'm surprised that I'm not on there, but I was glad that I wasn't.
But you did eventually show up on there.
Yeah, I've been on there 3 times.
Oh, you've been on there a third time now.
Yes, it was the 3rd time was yesterday, actually.
Oh, man. I gotta get there. Because after I read your blog, and you said, then I showed up down there again about my shirt, and I was like, oh, let me go check this out. And you were right. I was just like, what was the point of even posting that?
I know, it was so lame. And then, you know, and this site is supposed to be about, you know, like, oh my God, look at her, I can't believe, whatever. And I was like, seriously, like, there was like 30 girls wearing those shirts, so, like, it really was a big deal at all. And then the one that I was on there yesterday for was like another lame one. I was like, seriously, like, you guys can't dig up any other juicier stuff on me than this? It's kind of lame.
Well, before we get to yesterday's, tell us all why you're on there the first time. I know why, but my listeners don't.
The first one? Oh, my naked pic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, I was a little bit, that was the first time I was on there, I got a phone call. I was at work. And, it was actually from my ex-boyfriend, Eddie. And he was like, I pick up the phone and he's laughing. And I was like, what? You know, I was like, oh my God. Like, he wasn't on there before either. He's like, I have no idea how we're not on there, but like, we're like, that, you know, I'm not on there. And I was like, yeah, me too. And so he calls me, he's like just laughing. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm at work, I'm in my office, there's like people around. And he's like, have you seen The Dirty? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, you're on there. And I was like, I couldn't really say much because, I had my coworkers around and, just the environment that I was in, I couldn't really go into it. And I was like, what does it say? I was trying to be as calm as possible. And I was like, well, what picture is it? And he told me, that I was naked. Well, I was naked in the picture. And, oh, my God, I felt like I was going to throw up. I actually left work. And I left work about an hour later. I was like, it's all I'm thinking about. I need to go seriously, demons right now and spend as much money as I can. Shopping fixes everything.
Well, you know what? I'm naked on a website. I need to go broke.
Right. Because, shopping fixes everything. Once you have all this new stuff and, you feel better.
All right.
So I went to Neiman's and probably spent, $500. And then felt much better.
Okay, and then the second time we mentioned, it was a stupid shirt thing. So what was the most recent one? What were they dishing about on you now?
There's a picture that I have on my MySpace. It's from Halloween night.
Mm-hmm.
And it was my little outfit, and I was bent over. There's a guy behind me who was also regular on the dirty.
Uh-huh.
And he's bent behind me, making a face or something. I don't know.
I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Right. So it was that picture, and it was this thing. On the dirty, they call him the Dallas Gay Barber. And so it was like Gay Barber and Little Marie on Halloween night saw these two. Something. It was I saw them making out, and then was making out with this girl that is on the dirty. Her name's Kelly, but online I guess they call her something else. And just saying that they saw all us making out.
Oh, okay.
So that was it. Kind of lame.
Okay, there's two things I want to ask. The one, what was that costume you were wearing?
Oh, that was my strawberry shortcake costume.
Strawberry shortcake. I kept thinking Raggedy Ann for some reason, but I was like, it looks like Raggedy Ann, but I wasn't 100% sure on it. Strawberry shortcake, all right. And going back to your first picture, there's a quote on this picture. I can't get to it right now, so let me try and... It says, you were once in a hot tub with Eddie having sex in front of 20 people. Is there any truth to that? You're chuckling pretty hard, so I'm assuming that's true.
So what was your question?
Is that true?
Well, you have to keep in mind, Eddie and I were together. He was my boyfriend. It wasn't like I was hooking up with some random guy. We didn't think no one actually at the time knew what we were doing. It was a crazy, insane party. Girls were naked. It was something at the Playboy Mansion. There's always girls running around naked. I was one of them. And Eddie and I were in the hot tub. And yeah, so hot tub and nakedness equal sex.
Wow. See, I thought maybe they were just saying just because, the site being what it is, I thought it was just, bullshit. So I was like, I doubt that's true, but I guess I can ask her anyway.
Well, now you know.
Now I know, yeah. That's real good to know, too. So you're
Right.
So you're technically an exhibitionist now.
I like things like that. That's my kinkier side.
Wow. See? Didn't know that. I learn something new about you every day.
Yeah, that's not really stuff I put, advertise on my blog about.
You have a lot more friends that way.
Yeah, probably right.
Come on, dude, look at your friend count. Look at your friend count now. If you posted that, like if your name was no longer Little Marie and it was just I don't know, Marie the Exhibitionist, bing, 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 they'd go up. You'd rule MySpace. You'd have more friends than Tom.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I know I'm right. That's why I run this show. That's why. So okay, the pictures on the dirty. We talked about the relationships. Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to ask you. If you say no, it's no big problem, but it's just my curiosity. I'm trying to think how to ask this without sounding perverted.
That's okay. Just ask.
The first picture of you on the dirty, I was wondering if you had an uncensored version of that.
I do.
I was wondering if I could see it. Just for curiosity.
Huh. I'm sure if you look hard enough, I'm sure they're out there floating online.
See, that's what I thought, because I remember you told me when they were taken and everything, and I remembered, I think I had the right photographer. It was Bloom Photography, if I'm not mistaken.
Blum, yeah. Not Blum.
Oh, that's what it was. I went there, but there was just like 20 pictures on the site, and none of them were you.
Yeah, that was actually done for like a special project, and that was actually I think that got around just because that's what I used for my birthday flyer, not this past September, but the September before.
Uh-huh.
That was my birthday flyer, and it was censored, but I don't actually have that photo anymore.
Uh-huh.
My computer like crashed and died. I have a new computer, and I don't even have that photo anymore.
Because that's what I thought. That's what I was like. I was going to go to the website and check it out before I have to have an awkward conversation with her to ask her. So I went there, but like I said, it was like nothing. It was like 20 pictures on the front page, and that was it. Like it didn't take me nowhere. So I was like, oh well, I give up. I'll just ask her.
Right. I mean, I could probably get it, if I wanted to. Maybe for your birthday.
Woo,
You're
yeah.
good.
That's April. That's 6 months. That's 5 months off. So that's okay. But yeah, I just want to see it from a curiosity standpoint. It's like I don't know how to describe it, but
Right.
But like I was like, how do I ask it without sounding like a perv?
No,
I kept working it in my head, So, but you were just like, just say it. I was like, all right, I know, but so yeah, since the last time you're on, we talked about what you've been doing and everything, the part-time modeling and teaching and everything, which from what I hear you gave up. You said you're at a job in an office now, so what are you doing now?
I'm doing like therapy, like developmental therapy with kids with like developmental delays and disabilities.
And you get an office for that?
Yes, actually I see my kids at their house, but I've got enough paperwork to do, so I do have my own office.
Oh, okay. All right, and then we all know you're still partying. We all know that for a fact.
I'm actually partying a lot more now than ever.
Is it because you're out of teaching, you don't have to worry about kids or anything? I mean, like your school kids, not the ones you work with now, but or is it that you just have more time?
That too, and I'm just not happy with my job, and I just have so much going on that I've just been having so much fun partying.
Oh, okay. All right, I got you. And you told me you touched on it when we were talking about that dirty picture, the first one, but you did a photo shoot recently, correct?
Right, I did a photo shoot probably like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh. And what was that for?
It was the same photographer, Matt Blum, and just kind of the same type style photos.
The same type as the dirty one?
Right.
All right, hey. I can't wait to see those then. They probably won't be on your MySpace, but I want to see them. Yeah. And
they'll be like in a special members only.
Oh, really?
Thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Members only on his website?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh, okay. And also, from what I heard, from what you told me, there is a video as well.
There is a video.
And what are we doing on that, Marie?
That is basically just like a striptease.
Uh-huh.
But actually, the bad part about that was I didn't know that the camera had turned off, so there was little malfunctionings that really only took like the first 8 minutes.
Uh-huh.
So I have to redo it.
Oh, you have to redo it. Oh. When are you going to redo it?
I'm probably going to redo it next week. I just haven't had time. So I think we're going to do it again next week.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised you had time for this show, because once you told me you had this big party tonight, I was like, shit, she's not going to have time to do this shit today, man. She's got to fucking get all, dolled up and everything. But...
Yeah, the girls are coming over around like 7 or 8 to get ready. And then the party's supposed to start at 10, but knowing us, I get there at like 11:30.
So are you that girl that's like the leader of the pack? Like everybody comes to your house and you drive and then...
Yeah, everyone comes to my house, but I don't drive. I'm not the best driver ever.
And plus you're a drinker, so...
Right, I'm usually the one that's, the most trash.
Now, does your group have that person that's just like, okay, I'll hold all the purses while y'all go, or whatever?
Yeah, that would be my friend Paula. She's actually here at my house right now.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Now, is she around?
Yeah, she's here.
Let me ask her some questions real fast.
Paula, you want to ask me some questions? She said no.
Oh, why not, man? Come on, we're having fun.
Why not, Paula? It won't be about you. It'll be about me. She's like, no.
I was gonna ask her how does she feel about being the one that has to hold all the purses and everything while y'all go party.
Yeah, she's not in the best mood.
How did she get stuck with that job? Like, did y'all just show up one day like, you hold all this shit, we'll be back later?
Yeah.
I was kidding.
Oh, you were? Okay, then me too.
That's just mean.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're not. That's the sad thing. You're not kidding. You're just trying to make the listeners at home feel better for your friend, man.
Paula's like the mom of the group. She'll make sure we're okay. She sobers up to drive, and she takes care of all.
So everybody drinks. There's not really a designated driver. So there's just really disregard for the road, right?
Yeah, but she's the more responsible of the group, so she'll quit drinking and she'll totally sober up if she's driving.
Ah, okay. Is she driving tonight?
Yes.
Right on. All right. Like this is like tonight you're having, what is it called, girls' night out or something?
Yeah, it's actually the second one I'm hosting.
What exactly is the girls' night out party?
It's really fun. My favorite DJ from Austin comes to town. He's the DJ for that show on Oxygen called the Bad Girls Club.
Oh, okay. All right.
And so he's the official DJ for them, and then he's coming out for the party tonight. It's just a bunch of girls will host it, and then the good part is it's complimentary cocktails and champagne for all unescorted girls, and so it gets crazy. So it's always fun.
What if there was an unescorted girl and drag there? Would they still get shit for free?
They'd have to play the part pretty well.
It's called Girls Night Out, but do guys show up?
It's mostly guys. The last one that we had, they're like, ooh, Girls Night Out, I want to go, so it's mostly guys.
That kind of defeats the purpose of the party, though.
But it's so much fun.
Yeah, but if it's Girls Night Out and mostly guys show up, come on. If I was a guy and I did show up, I'm like, why are there so many dudes here?
Yeah, but then you get to see all the girls, and all the girls that are hosting it are all hot, wearing skimpy outfits, so it makes up for it.
Yeah, I was going to say that would make up for it. Yeah. why are there so many guys? How come I have to pay for my drink? Hey, wait a minute.
Right.
That would be my train. In fact, that is my train of thought. You know, I can be pissed off about anything. If I see somebody in skipping enough clothing, I can get over it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have your girls' night out party tonight. Now, are you the host or are you just one of the hosts?
I'm one of the hosts, but I'm the only host that, like, all the hosts are sharing a table. But I'm the only host that has my own table.
You have your own table?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, I'm an only child. I don't like to share.
Now, are you gonna go? Are you going there to party? Are you gonna go there and scope out a possible new boyfriend or a dater? I should say. I don't want to use the term boyfriend, or a little of both, or what?
No, I've definitely, some things have happened in the past, like a few months ago, that have definitely made me not look for a guy. I'll go out and I'll have fun. Meet a guy, then great. If I don't, then I'm just out there having fun.
What was the event that happened a few months ago?
The event that happened a few months ago, I remember that boy that I told you about that lived in Houston that I really liked, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Well, we officially, decided, or he officially decided that this just wasn't going to work out. Like, I went to go see him, or whatever, and we hung out, and in my book, I thought that everything was great. I was like, okay, we can, date from now on, whatever, and then I guess he was thinking the total opposite, and I guess he just wasn't, attracted to me anymore, which is what he said. So I just kind of was like, I've been just in that whole frame of mind where, okay, well, if you're not attracted to me, then I'll find 10 million other guys that are.
Damn, 10 million. You're going to be busy. That's a lot of guys.
So, I mean, it's been kind of a good thing. Yeah, it sucks it didn't work out, but it's also been a good thing because I've just been having, so much fun, and I'm really happy now.
All right. Now, let's go back to your partying days. Here's a question that just popped in my mind. Now, again, I'm not asking it to be an asshole. I'm just curious. But have you ever been the one-night stand girl?
Have I ever been what?
The one-night stand girl.
No, I don't think so.
I don't. Okay. So you're working at a new job now. You're partying more than you were before. So again, my same question is as it was last time. What's next? What's next for little Marie?
What's next? Probably, I'm just gonna keep partying until I have fun. As you know, we talked before. I have a new agent now, and just gonna kind of see where that goes. Maybe a little bit more modeling and possibly some TV things. I'm pretty excited about TV.
Nice. What kind of TV? Commercial, sitcom, drama, what?
Some commercials, maybe some like I might host some TV shows and things like that.
Hey, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
What if you could move on down to Wisteria Lane?
With a boy?
Yeah, sure.
It would have to be for me to settle down, you mean?
No, I said, why don't you move on down to Wisteria? That's for Housewives, Marie.
I know, but that's like suburbia, right?
No, okay. I'm talking about actually being on the show.
Oh. Oh my God, I was so.
I figured you'd get it, but you kind of blonded out on me there for a minute. But what kind of TV shows is he talking about? Do you know? Reality or?
No, I'm not sure. Everything's kind of up there. I've done a bunch of different things, and that's actually what this whole Houston trip is that I'm going on next weekend with my agent, and we're gonna kind of talk about new things that I'm gonna do.
Nice. Now you're coming to Houston next week. Are you going to see this gentleman you've been talking about in the show?
Oh, no, I don't think so. That's kind of done and over with.
What part of Houston did he live in?
I'm not sure. I only went there once. So I'm not sure.
Where'd you fly into?
I think Hobby.
Hobby, all right.
Yeah. I actually tried to make it like all romantic and fly there after we broke up and just surprise him and be like, I'm at the airport in Houston. Come get me.
Oh, what'd he do?
It didn't work out as I planned. I thought it would be the whole, oh, wow, okay, honey, I'll come pick you up, and the whole, like, running into each other's arms thing.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad I'm not the only one in the world that believes what they see in the movies is possible.
Well, that was back then. Ever since, like, I had my little reality check a few months ago, then I'm totally not. I totally don't believe all that reboot movie stuff anymore.
Like, some of it I'll actually still watch, so I'm just like, that could happen, but there's just some shit I'm watching where I'm just like, bullshit.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't really happen.
Like the Notebook. Take The Notebook, for example.
The Notebook.
Lovely movie, beautiful movie, it made me cry, but that would never fucking happen.
Right. Or like, P.S. I Love You.
Yeah, kiss in the rain and shit. Come on.
Yeah.
But
only in the movies.
Only in the movies or TV. I used to always think that high school would be like that old show, The Wonder Years. Boy, was I off. Are you familiar with that show?
I watched it when I was younger. I don't remember too much of it now.
Just making sure I didn't date myself or anything.
No. I think I'm older than you. Aren't I older than you?
You are older than me, but I was just making sure. You're 25, right?
No, I'm 26.
Oh, 26. Oh, yeah, you're 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this has been an intriguing show. We're about out of time. I've been trying to cut them short for this day. We're at 57 minutes. I think that's more than enough.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks again for coming on. That was real nice of you because, we love you.
Sure, no problem. Love you guys too.
Yeah, so good luck at your thing tonight.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Maybe we'll have you on again. Maybe do a third time.
All right.
Only when
sure.
something juicy happens.
Okay.
Yeah, it can't be just boring stuff because I've learned that doesn't work. It's got to be something we can sink our teeth into and everything.
Right.
Yeah. If you find that picture, give me a ring.
Okay, will do.
All right. Thanks for coming on again.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Well, yeah, that was the Marie Show here on 24 Hours of Artists. I thought it was very intriguing because this is the first time she's ever talked about any of her relationships and everything. She's not really open about that when it comes to it. So I think, for our little show, we should be really honored that she was able to open it up like that and actually sit down and talk to us about that and everything like that. So yeah, this has been Blues Show 3 chronologically of the 7 Days of Artists, and we're still rolling. We still got Joe May coming up. Had the tunage ready. Sorry. We still got Joe May coming up. We still got Wrestle Talk Impact. We still got the 2008 William Movie Awards. It's all coming up here on the 24 Hours of Artists. So guess what? I'm out. But for now.